scouting agent we have in place can analyze hundreds of startups in 10 minutes.
We have 800 events a year across Plug and Play.
I cannot live with it. If it's out of service, I am panicking. No, I cannot go back to code the other way.
If it speeds people up 50, 80%, that's great.
We record our leaders using AI and we send them to the whole organization.
We do 2 rollouts a week.
This episode is brought to you by Impeccable, your go-to design and development partner, helping enterprises bring AI and automation to life. From marketing automation to intelligent workflows, we help companies like Twilio, Google, and Adobe scale their innovation faster. If you're building your next AI-powered product or automating operations, visit impeccable.com to learn more. Now, let's dive into today's conversation with Plug and Play's VP of Operations and Automation, Sanam Amidi, and Director of Engineering, Emilio Fuertes.
Every CEO wants AI. Every business owner wonders if it can replace employees. But here's the truth. The companies who win with AI aren't replacing jobs. They're building task forces, automating workflows, and cutting weeks of work down to minutes. And not many doing it are doing it at a bigger scale than Plug and Play, the world's largest startup accelerator. They back over 250 startups a year, partner with more than 550 global corporations, and operate in 60 countries and host over 800 events annually. And here's the surprising part. They're not just investing in innovation, they're reinventing their own business with AI. In this episode, I sit down with Plug and Play's VP of Operations and Automation and Director of Application Development to uncover exactly how they're deploying AI across sales, marketing, and operations, and how their playbook could transform the way your business runs, whether you're a startup, a Fortune 500, or even a brick-and-mortar shop.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
I want to say a few notable things about Sanam, who I've known for how many years have we known each other?
I think like 18 years.
18 years and part of the next generation leadership of the company. She has a background in digital marketing and community management paired with experience in operations. She earned her degree in entrepreneurship from UBC and pursued further training in digital marketing. Thank you so much. And I do want to mention this year she was honored as one of Silicon Valley's Business Journal's 40 Under 40 Rising Stars. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I love Emilio too. He's pretty cool. We've been working together the last 6 years, bringing our entire tech stack to Plug and Play. Could not do this journey without him. It's been awesome, but we're excited to be here.
Awesome. I got really excited when we reconnected and I saw that you are now doing in your title or maybe somewhere in the description, you're talked about automation and operations and marketing. All those things plus automation is really exciting to me, and I'm sure exciting to a lot of people who are thinking about using AI or automation in their business. How do you guys apply that to Plug and Play?
That's a great question. Being at the forefront of innovation, our partners look to us to be driving the way and being the first adopters of a lot of systems and tools. In the world of AI and all these changes happening quickly, you have to be very much on top of it. So one of the first things we did was create an AI task force internally that encompasses engineering, the operations teams, our ventures teams, sales teams. And Emilio is the head of that AI task force. So he works with his counterparts in each of the different functions to see what we can do to drive different systems and adoption. And we do a lot in terms of testing. Both we are building things internally. So we have our own agents inside Plug and Play that are for our employees only, and we're testing the latest tools in the ecosystem depending on different workflows, everything from finance and legal to sales and outreach. We're trying to find the best solutions to be able to also answer the best trends that our partners will ask us about during our servicing as well.
Can you add to that?
Having this large network of investors and VC analysts all over the world, you can imagine how many tools they can succeed and fail. And that information is like flowing through us, through this task force Sanam mentioned. And we have this twofold strategy that we look for startups or solutions out there, the commercial ones. And as well, we're trying to learn about these technologies by creating our own internal AI framework.
So this is nice because sometimes I talk to small organizations and the word task force seems like overkill, but for larger organizations who want to start thinking about automation and AI, starting with a task force and involving stakeholders in every department. This is not a engineering only thing or single department. It seems to have representatives from every aspect of the business. Tell me more about that, and what do the meetings look like, and how do you prioritize?
I can take an overview and then I'll hand it to Emilio for the details. What we struggled with at the beginning of the task force was it was really technical. It was me, Emilio, and a couple other people that were on the technical side. And one of the first things we realized is we're not the end users of this actual software. So we were making a lot of decisions based on what we thought was best versus like the true adoption of it. So that's when we started to put a decision maker in each function. And that changed the speed of implementation and adoption. I'll hand it to Emilio to talk about one of the sales or the other options, but it wasn't making as big of an impact until we made the decision makers super clear in those commercial or specific team functions. And now we're seeing a huge increase and they feel as accountable as us for the adoption.
That's the key thing we realized, because we have this initiative going on for more than 2 years, is that we were leading, we were identifying needs and pushing for them. But we realized we should act more like enablers rather than leaders. So in those meetings, what you will see is the actual business functions outreach their teams and other functions, and are the ones pushing for use cases mainly and their needs to make these use cases reality. That's the big change we had in the past months, and this is where we've seen a lot of expectations and adoption in the organization.
That's a great lead into a popular question. Is AI for you guys applied underhyped or overhyped? Do people feel it can do more? Are they expecting to be able to do more? Can it accomplish less? Or like, what's the reality when you apply it to these different business functions?
More like even this morning you open Gemini and you're like, wow, you guys added a bunch of new things. So honestly, you have to be having this person keep up with what's next, what's happening in the next week. Everyone's adding new updates every few weeks. And even with Slack, Salesforce, and the articles coming out this week, there's just so much coming out. So you never feel you're tapping into everything 100%. And that's why we need these specific workflow adoptions to be focused.
This is very good, because the reality we've seen in our organization is that we can act as we are enablers. I'm the one dealing with the hype. So my task and Sanam's task is to calm down leadership for pushing AI, so the guys analyzing the tools and the procedures can have the right time to do that properly. So that's part of our enablement role. Like, we tame the hype, while the team that really does the decisions and selection of the tools, the procedures, and the use cases we're going to implement AI, they do their job fairly. That's the big thing.
There's a common thread that as I talk to more people, the leaders get really excited about AI, but oftentimes they also struggle with how to use it. Like I want to use AI, but not knowing how. And the people who are doing the work, they're so set in their processes, it's hard to imagine a very different workflow. How do you go about solving that challenge?
I was talking about this with a couple of my mentors the other day, and even our general where we live and the ecosystem we're exposed to. I've never been part of a company or group of people that love training. So we've been doing a lot more targeted training. When people walk out of the room, they go, oh my gosh, we need more of these. So training, it just like any system or process that you're changing, change management is a huge factor in it. But I do think we're very blessed in our ecosystem and our teammates at Plug and Play that they're the people in the world that want to test everything first and try things. Because I talk to my friends from other countries and I'm like, oh, have you guys played with this? What are you guys doing with these 3 tools? How are you comparing them? Like, we haven't even started testing that stuff out. So I do think because of our employees wanting to invest in the best innovation, they are more open-minded and change that I'm used to in other places I've worked. I don't know if Emilio, you feel the same way, but everything to us is more like change management and training. And we're calling 2026 a year of training.
So Pek, which were the first training sessions we ran? Who were the targets of those sessions? It was our leadership. The first thing we did is focus on leadership first. for two things. One is what you mentioned. They need to understand how generative AI works and what are the different things we can do with it. And the other is we're progressing in AI adoption. You're in good hands. This is why we start with leadership training. The next initiative we put in place, we record our leaders using AI and we send them to the whole organization. This is a new initiative we just kick off some weeks ago. And we get with this managing partner in Europe, and he has some good use cases of AI for role playing. So we record him doing that, and we're going to use that to train our team. That sends a powerful message. Leadership is at the forefront of using AI. So
I do the same. Thank you for that. It's worth reiterating that it starts from the top, and recently showed one of my executives example of an AI voice agent handling a call, and then handled the call excellently, and it parsed all the information. Here's all the data. And then I showed him a screen of the cost of it. Here's the AI voice cost. Here's the LLM cost. And it just blew him away because it was a fraction of a real human cost. Like, it's so little, and it was able to do it. Being able to experience it and seeing the impact to the business can be really transformative.
A scouting agent, one of the agents we have in place, can analyze hundreds of startups in 10 minutes. It's not a perfect analysis. There are some issues and nuances, but you can do hundreds. And I can tell it to do thousands.
If it speeds people up like 50-80%, that's great. But we still love the human touch. We love to say we are the white glove service that brings it together. Before this world, we very much want the human factor to still exist and still check that this is the quality we're used to. But it makes our team just much more efficient in terms of even gathering their own information. That's what we are seeing a lot of benefits from.
It's one of the key things we embed in all these developments. Human collaboration and human oversight is all over the place.
The trendy term is human in the loop. But you're right, it's not a job replacer, but it augments and creates efficiencies. To your point, there's no way people can research hundreds of companies in 10 minutes, but having those types of agents help streamline what people may call tedious work that has to be done. You have to research them. But I think you're narrowing it down, showcasing key things, and then they're sifting through. It's still that white glove service of selecting.
Absolutely.
Well, let's drill down into specifics. What types of agents are you building for plug and play and for your business? Where are you driving these efficiencies?
Sanam has a cool one that went live recently.
We are trying to do at least 2 rollouts a week, it feels like recently, in some form, the tools we already have in informing and some being new. The one that we rolled out this week that was pretty exciting and we're seeing a good result from is the AI agent that lives on our plug and play global website. If you go to pnptc.com, there's now a chat agent that will pop up and try to help you as much as possible. Take the latest plug and play information from the internet, from videos, and from our website to be able to answer questions and drive traffic to the right place. Something that we're seeing a lot with that, it's answering in different languages. That was a pretty pleasant surprise because we're predominantly English on all of our marketing platforms. That's been great to see that it has that ability. And now we're going to be driving the results. That was one of the exciting ones as well. And this week we had a deep search rollout with Emilio and team, and he can talk more to that.
Our team is mainly looking for startups, analyzing startups pretty much all the time. So that was the first process we wanted to tackle now. And we have this agent, we call it deep reasoning. What it will do, you give it a case or a problem statement and some specific requirements, and it will navigate hundreds of startups and it will produce a meaningful report, effectively ensuring that those requirements are met by the startup, structures it in a way that is like a summary for the users, but they can go to the details of the report and it has citations of the original sources and so on. So that's something we have several versions, and now this one is quite powerful. And the next one, which I'm really excited about, is we're working with this team to kind of consolidate all the best proposals, execution materials, and case studies. And we kind of thought about connecting our framework to it and let it navigate this information and able to generate RFP responses, and because our commercial activity is quite heavy. So that's another huge boost to our productivity. And this will be the first one the number of lines of code that my team has put in is very low. So we're trying to do it with agentic development process, and so far it's amazing. we cut times in but by more than half probably.
That's amazing. We're doing a similar project for a construction company. It's a 30-year-old, established company, and one of the problem statement is, yes, it takes quite a long time to put together RFPs, proposals, estimates, SOWs. But given all this historical data, could we accelerate this? I didn't have specific figures, but it's great to hear that even in your own practice, you're seeing the time cut down by half. That's a great segue into outcomes. What sort of outcomes are you seeing in terms of time saved or results achieved? Are you doubling output or cutting time by half?
So far it's still early. Our team is still experimenting, but we've seen from weeks to maybe 60%. I don't know. It depends on the specific cases.
Totally. I think our goal is 50% time saving. I think that's a good way to phrase it. Unless you track people's hours, it's hard to 100% say that, but that's definitely our goal in all these initiatives. And a good one right now, too, is we were trying to figure out what to do to enhance the sales process with automation and AI. That's why we brought in our champion friend, Alan, who has a really good perspective on it, where he doesn't want all the outreach to be automated, but he wants to enhance his research and creation of materials across our CRM, have it help with the data and the clarity and the snapshot. So it's more about making his hunting faster, but he still wants to be the face of the hunting. That's going to be a really good one. Like Emilio said, we're in early stages still. We're assessing what the best options are to move forward, but it's about like making all that grunt work, as you put it earlier, faster. How can you make all that manual, meticulous task effort just as speedy as possible so that he can focus on the results? And hopefully soon we'll be able to say, like, with a lot of confidence, it saved him half his hours this week. But that's exactly the reason we brought in these functional heads.
At a high level, how are you guys prioritizing? So you have all these different business units and functional heads, and companies are going to say who gets the time, whose project is next.
I'm smiling because Emilio and I did this like 3 weeks ago, where he's helping manage about 12 workflows across the organization. We were looking at them being like, okay, all of these are super exciting, but how do we pick which ones we're going to finish first? And I think that's when this whole conversation of his counterpart and decision maker came into play. So one thing can definitely be there's a huge need, but if you don't have the person on your right hand helping you execute, you can build the best thing in the world, but they don't use it. So it depends on the engagement of the team in addition to the software solutions that are out in the world or that we can build for them. Sometimes we even our company could really benefit from this, but we don't have someone next to us getting it through. Sometimes, even though it's a great one and we want to do it, we might table it for a quarter until we get that decision maker. I don't know, Emilio, if you have any additional things, but I think that has been our biggest.
We play a couple of games here. So there are some needs that are well understood across the organization. So we have split our initiative into work streams. One is those use cases we know we need to deliver soon. And these are the ones that my team and Sanam's team is pushing actively. And there is the overall transformation of the organization, this initiative we mentioned, the AI Center of Excellence, where they are like taking more time to prioritize and define better these use cases. And my expectation is that they tell me, we have cross conversations and say, no, bring this to the forum. We need to go together. Because there are a lot of the use cases we've seen, with slight changes, you can apply to different functions. Now, for example, we're talking about the RFP creation. That can easily be change it to support like contract management, because we do a lot of investments, we do a lot of contracts with our corporate partners. So it can help that piece too. Like you have a set of standard clauses that you can merge. That's the thing that we expect them to do this analysis and base this on ROI and applicability throughout the organization. And we're working on that. It will tell me we run many meetings. Everybody runs a lot of meetings these days. So that's one of the use cases is part of this high ROI there. But the different types of meetings, the technology behind is the same. I mean, if you are going to meet your corporate partner, you want to be ready. You want to understand what's going on their business. The same happens with a startup. You want to understand which market they play and what's the recent developments. So those are the type of use cases that we put in this bucket, that there are 12 or 10.
What's the mix between custom automations or agentic workflows and more off-the-shelf AI tools right now, or tools in general?
I haven't done the calculation, but out of the 12 we have, I think 4 are custom made, and then the rest should go through tooling.
Something to also mention is we have an in-house community management tool that Emilio manages called Playbook. That's something that is for our ecosystem, for us to service them the best. So that's why we might have a lot of in-house tools to enhance that entire experience, and it really makes our community special. So that's where a lot of our custom lives, in that tool.
We want to focus on those things that we can develop a competitive edge in the future. And some other tools, for example, is meeting preparation. There are plenty of tools out there, like note takers and preparation solutions. We're going to look into that, into those type of solutions for that purposes.
What are your favorite AI tools?
I have one. It's unbelievable. It's Cloud Code, but I'm an engineer, okay? So Sanam things. So you look happier recently, because I think was early adopters of these solutions. We had Copilot, Cursor, InSurf, but the way that Cloud Code has embedded into my workflow, I cannot live with it. If it's out of service, I am panicking. No, I cannot go back to code the other way. It's amazing. And then I don't want to say that. I love Gemini.
It's pluggy for me, Emilio.
Okay, yeah. Well, but our own framework.
I think Pluggy is so custom to what Plug and Play does. So it's definitely the number one. That's our in-house, like we call our in-house friend.
Her favorite is Gemini, for sure.
I do think in the last 3 weeks, I've become the top user of our Gemini AI. They did a lot of enhancements, especially for video and picture creation. So in the marketing and even my personal just entertainment world, I've been playing with it a little. My husband keeps making me into superheroes, and it's just so funny. But I mean, there's a lot out there, but I do think that those have been very good for our workflows. And I don't want to get in trouble with our head of security in terms of listing them all off, but the one on our website is pretty special. But again, it's 3 days old right now to our use cases.
Nano Banana, their image generator, was a huge hit. I think I saw a headline that it accounted for 1 million downloads of the Gemini app. That's how crazy it is.
It is. And I have to say, I really respect that it's like Cure, in the sense where if you try to upload pictures of your nieces and nephews, it doesn't let you, where some of the other ones can be a little bit more intrusive. So I think that's a huge comfort to people who like playing with the picture generators.
My team loves Google Beats. Last week we did 5 videos, Google Beats, all of them. They love the avatars. And
Quick break. If what Sanam and Emilio are sharing about AI task forces and 50% productivity gains is inspiring you to take action, talk to us at Impeccable. Whether you're a startup looking to build faster or an enterprise automating across departments, we've helped teams implement real AI systems using OpenAI, Google Cloud, and 11 Labs. From prototypes to production rollouts, Impeccable makes innovation tangible. Learn more at impeccable.com. Now back to the episode.
Talk to me about the role of AI in marketing. What are you using AI for?
The newest one is the bot that we mentioned on our website. So we're trying to see how we can better answer questions that are inbound. We get a lot of form and inbound requests. So seeing if we can help mitigate that a little bit and get it to the right place faster. That's been our current newest one. And then we have our friends in design and brand that are constantly testing it for images and image creation. We in our marketing group chat, there's a message every week about, have you guys played with this a little bit? Have you guys seen what this can do in terms of image creation, and just making the options faster has been a big use case. And then the starting point of all of this was just general copy creation. So how can we help with grammar and copy and editing a lot faster in this world of content? That's a huge huge topic. And a good example also is that we constantly used to have to pay people to be the voice across our videos, but more and more we're doing that with fake people with AIs. Emilio was saying in our trainings and things like that, we used to depend sometimes on marketing helping us edit, but we've been able to do that within the teams faster and faster. So we've only scratched the surface of what's out there, but we definitely have a couple of people on the marketing team that are driving how can we do this and how can we make ourselves more speedy. We have 800 events a year across Plug and Play, and we have to make all of the flyers, materials, the images for everything. So if we can just get that to be faster, that makes our team a little hopefully happier.
They use all the tools in the market. They are very, very early adopters.
What's a fake AI person video tool do you recommend that you guys are liking?
I have to double check with the team, but all of our voiceovers are now done with it. But I'll double check to see what they're using. But no, we do some still in house, or we would literally hire someone. And now I ask them, who's doing that? How did you guys do that? And they say, oh, we're just using AI now. Which is you can't even tell. It's pretty cool.
Is it 11 Labs?
I use it with my kid to compose music. We were doing a song together. She loves it.
I just want to talk about the business real quick. In terms of startups that are interested in hearing more about Plug and Play, and what are you guys looking for the startups listening?
Honestly, we're always looking for the latest technology in the world. We're very B2B. Doesn't mean that we're not open to all types, but we do focus mostly in the B2B space because we're trying to find people that can solve the problem statements of our clients. A lot of times we're looking for people that are ready to be embedded into some of our clients' ecosystems and solve their use case, like if they're ready to pilot with our partners in the mobility space. And it depends on our clients' needs as well. So we're always looking for the best and greatest. Team is number one, is the biggest thing for us. We always say that the product can evolve and change a lot, but the team and the skill sets are very important. But if you're solving like a big problem statement that could apply to a lot of our 550 plus partners, that's to us, that's where the biggest opportunity is.
And what about the corporates? What are you looking for?
We're looking for partners and friends to do this crazy world of change with us. It's Said puts it really well that he's looking for people that are fun in life to do life with. So it's really crucial that we enjoy what we're doing together and we're trying to make that impact together as fast as we can. It's always fun to find partners who have similar missions to help founders, but also adopt the latest technologies. So it depends where our partners are on their innovation journey. We definitely feel we can help everyone, be it if you want to come to one of our general events or if you're ready to straight go into pilots and testing. We definitely feel we can help everyone along that service channel, but it is important that you have the same values and mission. And even recently, we say we have 550 corporate partners, but more recently, we've been working with government entities a lot more. We've seen a trend where people are trying to bring more innovation to their market specifically and create more jobs, help the economy, make the next generation of Googles. So how can we facilitate that? And a lot of our corporate clients and government entities are seeing what kind of breaks they can make for startups so they stay. A good example is we're working in New Jersey with Stevens Institute of Technology, as well as the local government there to see what we can do to keep startups there and keep them growing close by. Same thing we're doing in Alberta as well as Arizona. How can we do this counterpart with the regional heads to see how can we make the economy, the local economy great? We used to say everyone should come to Silicon Valley. They probably still should come for a visit. But if they want to go back, like we want to make them successful no matter where they are.
Another reason I got very excited about having you on this podcast is because not only are you practicing some of these new skills and being exposed to new technology for your own firm, but by sheer virtue of the business, you're being exposed to tons of new exciting companies. What are some of the more things, like companies that come your way that you got really excited about for both of you, especially kind of AI related companies?
We did a little bit of a partnership also. I don't know if Emilio want to talk about Glean, Turing, or any of the others, but we definitely love it when our startups become something that could grow with us. So I think, Emilio, if you wanted to chat anything about that as well.
I don't want to name a few because I'm not on the front line, but I see the activities on behind the scenes. And I love all these new startups trying to revolutionize health. When I joined Plug and Play, I was, bringing innovation everywhere. I buy this motto and see it happening in reality. That's fantastic. Yeah. And especially in those that are ending poverty or saving lives. I mean, love that.
Also, what's been very exciting recently, and again, you might hear our being a little bit modest with the names. We love everybody, but what we've been seeing a lot is we've had startups we've invested in get large enough to become clients to us now. That's been very exciting to be able to support someone early on in their journey, but then see them become so successful that they could become something like our customers. So that is always our vision of how can we make a relationship so deep that even if you're at the startup stage, we could stay friends with you to the point where you're a large organization with thousands of employees. And that's been one of the greatest things to see more recently for us. Plug and Play is hitting their 20 years next year, so it's officially 20 years old. And a lot of things can happen to companies that we've invested in a long time ago that now we can work with in different aspects as well. So going from an investor to being a user of their systems to then one day becoming partners is one of my favorite things I'm seeing right now. And so how can we make those kind of relationships just so long term? I think has been super exciting. Seeing partners just grow to that maturity level has been, at least for me, super rewarding.
Must be very, very rewarding to kind of see that full circle. It's been great to see. Well, thank you so much. This has been really helpful. We're coming up with time, so I want to keep conscious of your time. Where can people find out more information about what you're up to? And then especially if you're in different countries, where do they see if there's a plug and play there?
Everything should be now on our website. You could tag to our new bot that's getting all those questions, but also I'm a very active human on LinkedIn. Feel free to follow the journey there. We try to post as much as we can in terms of what's going on in the world of Plug and Play, but feel free to reach out to any of our team's emails, our website, but also follow along the journey on LinkedIn if you want to get more personal. I don't know, Emilio, if you want to share your LinkedIn social media presence too.
I'm not as active as you, by the way. But yeah, okay. My profile is accessible to everybody in LinkedIn, and I usually respond to all messages.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thanks,
Thank
Pek.
you.
It was fun. Thanks, Emilio.
Thank you, Sanam.
If today's conversation got you thinking about how to bring automation or AI into your business, Impeccable can help. We're an 11 Labs and Twilio partner with deep expertise building intelligent products for organizations worldwide. From streamlining operations to building AI-powered customer experiences, we turn ideas into impact. Head to impeccable.com or click the link in the description to connect with us.